Welcome back to our weekly environmental news report. First news. According to Reuters, Australia is planning to build a 1,250-mile-long stretch of highway for electric vehicles in Queensland that offers 18 free charging stations. This would be one of the world's longest electric vehicle roadways and will cost $3 million to build and open within 6 months, running parallel to the Great Barrier Reef. Said State Minister Stephen Miles, "This project is ambitious, but we want as many people as possible on board the electric vehicle revolution as part of our transition to a low-emissions future." This move comes as governments around the world have set regulations to cut emissions by increasing the use of electric vehicles. A plastic garbage patch bigger than the size of Mexico was found floating in the South Pacific by Captain Charles Moore, founder of the Algalita Research Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to solving the issue of marine plastic pollution. Moore's team is currently weighing the plastic and analyzing the data, but estimates that it is roughly 1 million square miles in size. Moore also discovered the more well-known North Pacific garbage patch back in 1997, and similarly, the new South Pacific patch is made of microplastic particles smaller than grains of rice, making the cleanup effort much more difficult. The giant Sequoia monument in California's Sierra Nevada may be at risk from the timber industry amid the Trump administration's review of national parks and plan to cut regulation. At a public meeting in June, Tulare County supervisors voted in support of a plan that would shrink the monument, which is home to most of the world's giant sequoia trees, stating that in order to save the sequoia trees, their surrounding area must be stripped of protected status. Scientists warn that if the current 328,000-acre protected area is turned into smaller no-logging zones that only encompass the sequoia clusters, the ecosystem would degrade. According to Chad Hansen, a tree ecologist, the giant sequoia ecosystem isn't just the sequoia groves. They are the centerpiece, but there is a broader landscape that includes rare species that have huge home ranges. If you only have protections for the groves, the ecosystem would start to unravel and fall apart. A new report by the wildlife monitoring organization Traffic details the statistics of ivory sales in 6 major U.S. cities. Investigators found that there was almost 3 times as many ivory items for sale in the Washington, D.C. area in 2016 than 10 years earlier, even as ivory sales in other parts of the country have been decreasing. Los Angeles, New York City, and San Francisco have long been the main ivory hubs in the U.S., but have recently changed, likely due to stricter restrictions imposed in certain states. The sale of ivory across international boundaries has been banned since 1990, but the U.S. has continued to allow people to buy and sell ivory within its borders, subject to certain regulations. However, the federal government can only regulate interstate trade, not trade within states. A group of experts comprising of researchers and environmentalists have called for oil companies to leave the recently discovered Amazon reef alone in response to BP and Total's plans to drill for oil near the area. So far, over 1 million people have signed a similar petition, and more than 29,000 people have written to BP's CEO in protest. The unique reef system was revealed only last year, but has a 30% chance of being affected in the event of an oil spill, which activists warn could irreparably damage the 1,000-kilometer-long ecosystem before scientists even have a chance to study it. That's all for this week's Environmental News Report. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and help promote environmental awareness. Thank you.